Hello everybody, how you doing and welcome back to the channel. I'm saying that because I'm doing this for YouTube as well as Instagram. If it's less than 15 minutes long, which I'm trying to do, it's for Instagram, and if it goes above, it's for YouTube. Anyway, I've got my Thornbridge t-shirt on, which I have christened by dropping a toothpaste down it. I've washed it and it ain't come out, so me bad. So it's Thornbridge celebrating 20 years in 2025, 20 years being a brewery. So I'm going to be doing like a couple of beers celebrating Thornbridge's 20th. I'm going to bring the Jamestown to you. I'm also going to bring the ice cream stout, the ice cream porter rather. I do apologise. I've got one on the top here, one in the fridge. I'm going to see what temperature they recommend it before I bring it to you. But the first beer I'm just going to crack open now is one I've been waiting for. Not because I drink a lot of this sort of like style of beer, but because I just want to see how good it is. And it is the Jaipur alcohol-free beer. So, like, this is something that I've been waiting for a long time because I am not a big fan of alcohol-free beers, and I could tell you some terrible stories here at the Spencer Arms. Beers that I've reviewed that I wouldn't even dare put out to the channel because it's not the sort of thing I do. I don't want to badmouth beers. If a beer, an alcohol-free beer, is just not to my taste, that's one thing. But if they've tried to make it and they've really bigged it up and they've also sort of bigged other people down and it's really bad, then I'm not bringing it. Anyway, that aside, so Jaipur alcohol-free Indian Pale Ale, we know how good and what this sort of tastes like. So I'm really hoping this is an alcohol-free beer that I will actually enjoy. So I did the other IPA that I do like is Proper Job, and St. Osso's did a really good job of their Proper Job alcohol-free, and I have no doubt in my mind that my lovely Thornbridge have done and a good job, if not better, or the same as whatever. Anyway, got a bit of bling as well. So for the 20th anniversary, I ordered myself a t-shirt. I ordered a cap. Unfortunately, the cap wasn't in stock, I don't believe, because they refunded it me and they put a little note on the invoice. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was probably more the colour I wanted. But I can always order another one at some time. But so I ordered one of these as well. Nice and shiny. So I'm going to pop this open, and I'm going to crack it out into my Thornbridge Beer Club glass that was gifted to me by Thornbridge on the year anniversary of being a beer club member. Now, I tell you something, right? I didn't even realise that I had been in the beer club for a year. I mean, when I was in is it Beer 52? I cancelled that after only a few months because I sort of I don't know, some of the beers that were coming, it is a good subscription service and it is good, but some of the beers were coming were just not really hitting the spot. And you'd sort of think to yourself that just having like a beer from one brewery all the time would be even less boring or even more boring than having various beers come as the Beer 52 was. But nah, trust me, Thornbridge just keep on giving all the time. Now this, I'm sure this has got a little widget at the bottom of it. Anyway, so there it is in the glass. Now, it's got some rising carbonation there from the widget at the bottom of this glass. Now, straight on appearance, that looks quite a bit lighter than the actual Jaipur. If I can remember, I was going to have a Jaipur right next to me, but I'm pretty convinced I know what that tastes like enough to see if this is good or not. Now, they have lightened up the label, so the beer is light as well. Looks nice. It looks quite refreshing. It's got a good head on it as well. The carbonation rising from that widget looks nice in this glass. I love this can glass. It's really lovely. So on aroma, that's smelling like a beer, not like a sweet. Not like a sweet. I don't know how to repeat myself there. But a lot of alcohol-free beers just smell sweet and horrible. I'm just going to pause the video just to turn the heater off because I'm starting to burn up. Whew. Oh my goodness me. I tell you what, you can tell when the temperatures rose a little bit, can't you? Anyway, back to where we were. So yeah, it smells like a beer. Let's see if it tastes like a beer. Right, come on, Thornbridge. Don't let me down. Let's have the Jaipur alcohol-free, being worth a buy. It's £1.90. This is £1.90 a bottle on the website, and it is currently sold out. So it's obviously doing well. Right, I've not heard anybody talk about this. I've not heard anybody review it, see anybody, nothing. Let's have a go. Cheers, everybody. That's good. That'll do. 330ml bottle. So that is 2 beers now that Thornbridge have done, alcohol-free, that are very good. The Green Mountain, that's very good. Now, you obviously got what you've got to consider. That is very good. What you got to consider, sorry, I was just in my own world then. You've really got to consider this is brewed exactly the same way as what Jaipur is, with the same hops, and it's brewed exactly the same way. Then obviously, however they remove the alcohol, they remove it. Now, some of these other companies that are saying we don't brew it, we brew it alcohol free from the start using natural ingredients. I don't know how they do that, and the result tells, because this particular drink I was drinking, it tasted like cabbage juice, and it smelt, quite frankly, like a vegetable fart. So if I'm to be frank, so like, I can't see how you can possibly brew a beer without brewing it as it should be in the first place. You've just got to figure out a way of removing the alcohol. I've heard about cold filtering. I ought to ask. I've not even asked Thornbridge. I've just got this. This has come today, and I've got a bit overexcited about it. I want to do it, but I will ask Thornbridge how they do it, and they will. They will tell me, because they're brilliant at being informative and chatting and everything else. But a lot of the substance is within the alcohol, in my opinion. So when you remove the alcohol, you are removing some of what the beer gets. But what you want to be able to do, you want to be able to have an alcohol-free beer and actually enjoy it. You don't want to be drinking it and thinking to yourself, like, God, it just tastes like a horrible alcohol-free beer. And trust me, I've had lots, all the ones that have been recommended to me. And honestly, the only ones that I think I can say is this one now, the Proper Job, Green Mountain, and Guinness. I'm just trying to think if I've had any more. Days Pale Ale was okay. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to take a beer somewhere and drink it and enjoy it as an alcohol-free beer, it just doesn't want to taste like a sweet, flavoursome beer where they've tried to put something unnatural into the beer to make it taste like a beer, or they've just overdone the hops to try and compensate for the lack of malt flavour, and then you get that horrible hop burn that you get in some of the alcohol-free beers. Now, this on the website says to drink between 5 and 8 degrees. Outside, it's been 8 degrees. So this was outside. It's been outside all afternoon, because that's how my delivery people leave it, behind the car. And then I've left it outside, but then I brought it in about 15 minutes before I was going to review this and put it in the fridge. So it probably just take it down a degree or two. So it's probably around about the 6 degrees. This, to me, really lends itself to being around about that 5 degrees. I think if this was, apparently, because it's warm in here as well, if this was like 5 degrees, this was really refreshing, really easy drinking. It does leave that little grapefruitness that you get from Jaipur as well. It does leave that zinginess on you. There's no sort of off flavors with it. There's no added sweetness. It's still got something about it. It's really good. There's nothing at all disappointing about that. Absolutely nothing at all that's disappointing about that. Obviously, if I was to crack open a Jaipur and have it, yes, you go, oh, wow. Yeah, I can see quite a bit of difference. You're bound to, or whatever. But if you're just taking this and you drink this, in fact, I'm going to crack open the other one quickly. I'm just going to continue with it. because I'm going to add some of these to my next beer club order. And whilst I'm under the 15 minutes, so I'm going to continue with it just to see, if I was having a couple, because it's only a 330ml bottle. So, excuse me. So the carbonation levels are quite nice, but not like that belch hasn't come from this being over carbonated and over fizzy. It's really not. It's just like a lighter version of it. It's almost to me. It's almost like Jaipur is 5.9%. This is almost like I don't know 3% Jaipur. It doesn't taste or feel or lend itself to being an alcohol-free one. Actually, yeah, it's more of a Jaipur light, if you know what I mean. It's so refreshing. It's really nice. You can taste that it's got hops in there. You can taste the slight bitterness from the hops like you do with Jaipur. You've got that sort of grapefruity zing. You've got all the flavours. You really have got all the flavours with the normal Jaipur, but it just tastes like a lighter version of it. It really doesn't taste like you could definitely tell me. You could say like, oh, we brewed a 3% version of it or a 2.5% version of it. What do you think? It goes down a treat, actually. It really is. Very good, that is. Honestly, compared to what I've had, and now I know everybody's screaming at me, probably saying, Spenno, even if this was the most rubbishest alcohol-free beer out there, you'd still love it. You'd still say you love it because you love Thornbridge. It's not the case. It's not the case. I'm not an alcohol-free drinker. I'm not. If I go somewhere and I've got to drive, I almost think, oh God, I'd rather just have a coffee or a tea or one beer. I tend to probably just have one beer and just sit on like a 5% beer maybe or something like that, and then not have anything else. Or I have in the past took Guinness. But there's only so much alcohol-free beer you can drink. Not so much Guinness, but like of this sort of style where you just think, oh my God, it's just bloated me up. It's fizzy, it's sweet, it's horrible, or whatever. But times are changing, and certain breweries are getting good at doing it. Guinness have always done a good alcohol-free Guinness. I would say, and I must admit, the Days Pale Ale isn't bad. A little bit malty, a little bit probably. I found it's got natural flavourings in it, so it's probably like got some sweeteners in it. I don't know what's in there. I've asked them, I've reached out to them, see what they say. But no, I mean, being biased, if I was going to take an alcohol-free beer, I'd probably go for Thornbridge over St Austell's. That's because Thornbridge are my favourite brewery. So, like at the end of the day, I would go that route simply because of that. So on that note, 2 little alcohol-free beers from Thornbridge. Absolutely crack on. Spot on. Really recommend it. I'm now going to have a proper beer from Thornbridge, and one that's new to this 20th anniversary. It almost feels like I've had a beer as well. I've always got the Spenno Slur nearly. And basically it's got the new logo on it as well. So I'm going to do that one next. And I'm quite looking forward to it because it's a different type of beer. It's probably a style of beer I probably would shy away from. So it's going to be nice to try. Anyway, right, thank you very much for watching. It's been like a normal long waffle video. And take care, and I'll see you on the next one. But yeah, get yourself some of this. Well, when you can, because it's sold out. And at £1.90, I think it's pretty good value for money.